Hello everyone, and welcome to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're embarking on an incredible journey back in time, not just to explore battles and empires, but to delve into the very stories that shaped ancient civilizations. They're myths and legends. These aren't just fairy tales. They were the science, religion, and entertainment of their day, all rolled into one. From the mighty gods of Mount Olympus to the epic quests of heroes like Gilgamesh, these stories reveal what ancient people feared, what they cherished, and how they saw their place in the universe. So why do these ancient myths still fascinate us thousands of years later? Because they speak to something timeless within us. They grapple with the big questions. Where did we come from? What is our purpose? What happens after we die? The answers they came up with were imaginative, dramatic, and profoundly human. Take the creation myths, for example. The Egyptians believed the world began with a primordial ocean of chaos, from which a hill of dry land emerged. On this hill, the creator god Atum brought forth the first deities. In contrast, the Norse people envisioned a vast emptiness called Ginnungagap, where fire and ice met to form the first giant, Ymir. From his body, the gods Odin and his brothers would later shape the world. Each culture's pantheon of gods and goddesses reflects its values and environment. The Greek gods living atop Mount Olympus were a dysfunctional, powerful family, full of love, jealousy, and ambition, a divine mirror of human nature. Zeus, the king of the gods, wielded thunderbolts and had a notoriously wandering eye. His wife Hera was the powerful and often vengeful goddess of marriage. Poseidon ruled the seas, a vital and unpredictable force for a seafaring people like the Greeks. These gods weren't distant, perfect beings. They meddled in human affairs, chose favorites in wars, and their stories were used to explain everything from the changing of the seasons, like the myth of Demeter and Persephone to the dangers of hubris or excessive pride. Let's journey east to Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Here we find one of the oldest stories ever written down, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was a powerful king, part god and part man, who ruled the city of Uruk. After the death of his beloved friend Enkidu, a grief-stricken Gilgamesh becomes terrified of his own mortality and sets off on a quest for eternal life. His journey is filled with monsters, gods, and impossible challenges. He meets Utnapishtim, a man who survived a great flood sent by the gods and was granted immortality. Ultimately, Gilgamesh fails in his quest, but he returns to his city with a newfound wisdom that immortality is not for mortals, and true meaning is found in the life you live and the legacy you leave behind. This epic poem explores themes of friendship, loss, and the human condition that are just as powerful today as they were over 4,000 years ago. Now, let's travel to the misty shores of Northern Europe, home of the Vikings. Norse mythology is a world of stark contrasts. Icy giants, fiery demons, and stoic, battle-hardened gods. Odin, the All-Father, sacrificed one of his eyes for wisdom. Thor, his mighty son, protected both gods and humans from giants with his hammer Mjolnir. And then there's Loki, the trickster god, a complex character whose cleverness and mischief often cause trouble for the gods, but sometimes save them too. The Norse worldview was shaped by a harsh environment, and their myths reflect this. They believed in a final, cataclysmic battle called Ragnarok, where the gods and their enemies would destroy each other, and the world would be consumed by fire and flood. But even in this grim prophecy, there was a glimmer of hope. A new, green world would emerge from the ashes, populated by a new generation of gods and 2 human survivors, signaling a cycle of death and rebirth. Moving south to the sun-drenched land of Egypt, we find a mythology deeply intertwined with the Nile River and the afterlife. The Egyptian gods were often depicted with animal heads, representing their connection to the natural world. Ra, the sun god, sailed across the sky each day in his solar barge, bringing light and life to the world, and journeyed through the dangerous underworld each night. Perhaps the most famous Egyptian myth is the story of Osiris, Isis, and Horus, Osiris, a just king, was murdered and dismembered by his jealous brother, Set. His devoted wife, Isis, searched for and reassembled his body, using her magic to conceive their son, Horus. Horus then grew up to avenge his father and claim his rightful throne. This story was central to Egyptian beliefs about kingship, justice, and, most importantly, resurrection. The pharaohs were seen as the living embodiment of Horus, and the myth of Osiris provided a blueprint for the promise of an afterlife for all who lived a virtuous life. Of course, we can't talk about ancient legends without mentioning heroes. These larger-than-life figures, often demigods, served as role models and inspirations. Hercules, or Heracles in Greek, is the ultimate strongman, forced to perform 12 impossible labors as penance. His story is one of incredible strength, but also of suffering and eventual redemption. Odysseus, the hero of Homer's Odyssey, was a different kind of hero. His strength was his cunning and endurance. After the Trojan War, he spent 10 years trying to get home, facing off against monsters like the Cyclops and resisting the enchanting songs of the sirens. His tale is the archetypal journey of a hero battling against all odds to return to his family and his rightful place. These heroic tales weren't just action stories. They taught lessons about courage, perseverance, intelligence, and the consequences of one's actions. Even the way we tell time and name the planets is steeped in these ancient myths. Many of our days of the week are named after Norse and Roman gods. Tuesday comes from Tyr, the Norse god of war. Wednesday is Odin's day, or Woden's day. Thursday is Thor's day, and Friday is for Frigg, Odin's wife. The planets in our solar system, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, are all named after Roman deities, who were largely adopted from the Greek pantheon. These stories are so deeply embedded in our culture that we often don't even notice them. They're in our art, our literature, our language, and even our modern blockbuster movies. Superheroes like Thor and Wonder Woman are direct descendants of these ancient mythological figures, repackaged for a new generation. The myths and legends of the ancient world are a vast, rich tapestry of human imagination. They show us that while technology and society have changed dramatically, the fundamental questions and emotions that drive us have remained remarkably constant. These stories of gods, monsters, and heroes are not just relics of a forgotten past. They are the foundation of our own stories. They are a window into the souls of ancient civilizations and a mirror reflecting our own humanity. Exploring them is to explore the very roots of who we are today. Thank you for joining us on this mythological journey through the ancient world. We've only scratched the surface of these incredible tales, and there are so many more to explore from cultures all across the globe. What are some of your favorite myths or legends? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to History of the Ancient World for more deep dives into the past. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.